Hey guys, it's Nicole over at WIT. Thanks for joining us for another episode of WIT Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about why content matters. So as marketers, we talk a lot about content, and I think that's the case anywhere that you go for your marketing, any agency, any personal marketing agent that you work with, they're always going to be talking about content for your website. So it's so important when it comes to SEO and what shows up in search results for you, and that's why we're really heavy on content. So a lot of people ask us, when we refer to content, what are we actually referring to on your site? So the short answer and the technical answer is that everything on your site is content. But when we're talking about content in a marketing sense, what we're talking about is sort of the different elements on your site. So, the logo is a piece of content, your header on any given page is a piece of content, the actual body copy on any page is a piece of content. Videos are another type of content, as are images and your sort of call to action, everything like that. So when we talk about content in a marketing sense, a lot of times we're talking about these different elements of content on any given site. And then a lot of times we're also talking about new potential content on your site. So that's where we get into blog posts and service pages, as well as, frequently asked questions, things along those lines. So the next thing that I kind of want to tie in here is how Google decides which content shows up in search results. And that kind of guides the way that we as marketers choose which content to work on your website. So here's how I like to think of how Google indexes content and shows it in search results. Google's main goal is to show the searcher the most accurate information, the most helpful information based on what they've been searching. So what that means is if somebody posts a question, how do I find the best plumber in Denver? Google is going to go through all of the millions of pages that they have indexed that relate to that search query, and they're going to choose the ones that they think answer that question the best. So when we're creating content for your website, a lot of what we do is keyword research to look into those questions that people are asking, and that way we can frame your new content or frame your existing content on the site around those questions that people are asking when they go to Google. So that's kind of how Google decides what shows up, and that ties directly into how we as marketers work on content on your website. So the next thing I want to talk about is what happens when you post new content on your website. So on your website, you have something on the back end called a sitemap, which you guys have probably heard of. Your sitemap just kind of lines everything up for search engines, tells them, here's what's on the site, these are the pages that I have on the site, and the sitemap is an active document, so it is always being updated. If you add a new page to your site, a new FAQ page, a new blog post, a new service area page, anything like that, your sitemap will also then have that URL on there telling search engines, hey, this is a page that's on my site that I want you to look at. So once a page goes onto your sitemap, Google can then see that page and say, oh, hey, this is a new piece of content on this site. I'm going to re-index this content so that we make sure that this shows up in search results. And while I'm at it, I'm going to re-index the whole site to make sure that we haven't missed any new content that they've added on other pages on the site. So that's one of the reasons that we post new content pretty regularly. It helps keep Google's eyes on your site and keep them combing through your site and making sure that they are looking at it in regards to what people are searching and showing people the right results. So that's one of the reasons that we kind of do that. And then once the content is live and indexed in Google, they're going to show that in search results wherever they find that it's relevant. And so that just circles back around to when we're creating the content, we want to make that super relevant content that's answering people's questions, that's getting people where they want to go, and ultimately converting users into business for you. So the great thing is that if you're with WIT, we're already working on this content for you on a super regular basis. If you're doing SEO with us, we spend a lot of time on content. You might have seen those 90-day plans go out, and you're noticing that we have a huge focus on content. That's because it's really important for your site. So so that's all we've got today. Thanks so much for joining, and if you have any questions, leave some comments below. Thanks, guys.